So I'm looking at a 2014 Chevy Impala here. Pretty interesting. When I went to look at it a few days ago, you would go to drive it and it felt like it was in reverse and first gear at the same time. It would go and then stop, almost like someone threw it in reverse. And I looked at the codes on it, on the transmission codes, and it has a P0877 transmission fluid, pressure switch 4, circuit low, and a P0989 transmission switch 5, circuit low. And on these 6-speed transmissions on these GMs, a lot of times it's the seals on the solenoids. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and pull the solenoid pack out. It's right here on top. You have to take the side pan off on the transmission, and then we can get down in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this crossbar off and pull this air box out and show you what I'm doing, and then we'll go ahead and pull that solenoid pack out and the TCM and all that, and take a look at the seals on it. Alright, so I'm going to go through this part real quick just because it's pretty basic stuff. Just pull this clamp loose, take your sensor off from the air box here. You have all these clips that go around it. Pull those out, pull your air filter out, and then just it snaps on top of your computer through these here. So just pull those up, and then you can pull this out. And then we're going to get down to right here, which is where we're trying to get to. And you can see we need to pull this cover off here. I'm going to kind of move this computer out of the way a little bit. Got to get this big connector off, and then we just got to go around and get all these 10mm bolts out. And then that pan will come out, and then we can get down to where we need to go. This right here is actually plugged into your solenoid and all that stuff, the unit that we're going after. So we'll unplug that and then get all those pan bolts off. Alright, you're going to have 14 bolts all the way around this. There is 2 on the bottom. The rest of them you can get up here from the top. This is what we're going after right there. So 14 10mm bolts all the way around. And then right here you're going to have your transmission lines. There's a little bracket that hooks to it, and I just used a little cat claw and pried it away. And then it should come out. And then we got a bunch of bolts. I believe 10mm bolts in here too. It might be 8. I'll double check. But we do have a bunch of bolts we have to address in here too. Alright, one thing I got it removed already. It's a combination of 8 and 10mm bolts. You are going to have 3 connectors to take off. Just take a pick and be real careful. You got this green one, you got this little brown one on top, and then there's a green one down there on the bottom. And then that whole solenoid pack should come out. So I'll go over to the bench and show you that real quick. Alright, so I got it upside down. I still got the bolts in it because they're all different sizes. I just want to keep them separated, or keep them. Now you can see here, this is completely blown out, this seal, and then this seal, half of it's missing. And this seal looks okay. We're going to replace them all, and this seal looks okay. But I'm going to take these out and I'll show you. But this is completely gone. Like most, this cover here is almost completely gone on this one. And on this one, it's part of it's gone. So these are the 2 these are the 2 solenoids that we're having the issues with, and that's what we need to replace. So we're going to take all 4 of them out and replace them all, but these are the 2 that we're having the codes on. Alright, so I already did this one just for a little bit of practice. We'll go ahead and do the rest of these. So the first thing you're going to do is just take your pick and pick out the seal. Alright, it's kind of like an upside down top hat, and then we have this plastic piece. You can see it's just coming apart. Probably a pick is the best thing for this. If I can get it out. Still some stuck in there. There we go. So you can see here, this is what it looks like. It's basically deteriorated, and most of it's gone, falling apart. And looking for the new ones. I can't find them. I just had them. All right, let me find the new one. I literally just had, here they are. So this is what the problem is. When this little button in here, there's a little button in here, and when this little button presses against you know, the seal, there's fluid escaping because it's not preventing it from going past anymore. So here we have, this is what it should look like. And the trick to get these in is to kind of bend them inward like this and set them in there. Takes a little bit of patience and practice to get these in. I don't really work on transmissions all the time, so I'll probably struggle more than someone that does it every day. But you're just trying to slip it back in there. Make sure your button's still in there. And then once you get it started, if you get the right kit, this tool should come with it. And this tool kind of helps that go down in there and seal itself around the lip. So you're just going to kind of work that seal in there, the plastic seal in there with this tool until it goes under the lip. And you'll understand more what I'm talking about once you get yours apart and get it in there. But it just takes a little bit of patience. Because it's definitely these you know, these round seals are quite a bit bigger than the hole, so you have to fold them inward to get them to go in there. So I got mine in there and I got it seated, and this tool now goes all the way around the lip, so that means it's all the way flat in there and seated. So the next step is to put a new seal in it, and to do that we're going to put the seal in here in your tool like that. And then we're going to use this to push the seal in there all the way. So you're basically just using this to press the seal in the tool. You're going to check it, make sure it's pretty level and flat. I usually check it and then double check it, triple check it. Alright, once the seal's down in there all the way, you put it upside down into the hole you just put the other seal into. You use this part of the tool, and you're just going to press down on that, and that presses the seal inside the... That will press the seal down inside there. Let me make sure. This must not be straight. It's this is slipping out. Double check this. Let me double check this real quick. Alright, so you can see I got it in there. What I actually did is put a little bit of trans gel. Get some of this trans gel, and I put it inside this tool because it was just sticking in there. I just put a little bit inside here and got it enough to where it lubricated enough to get this to go down. So that's basically how it's done. I guess we'll show doing this one more time. But that's the gist of it. The trans gel's fine for your transmission. It's not going to screw anything up. I just could not get it to release it. So we'll go to this one. I don't think this one was set in the code, but we're going to change. Of course, if you're going to go this far, you're going to change all of them. So you just take that out, and we'll get this old seal out. And again, this one is ripped. It's ripping real easy. And this car's only got 112,000 on it, so if you're having problems with your GM transmission, that one came out all as one piece, but it definitely was ripped a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this button in there. I don't take the buttons out unless I have to. Now, when you take your when you take this out of the transmission, if yours is ripped bad enough, your button may fall out, so be careful of that. Just make sure you don't lose it. I don't even know, it'd probably be a nightmare trying to find one, to order one, so you don't want to lose it. So again, we're just gonna fold it inward like that. Kind of stuff it in there. And like I said, it kind of feel like it doesn't want to go in there, but it's quite a bit bigger than the hole. And then once you get started down in there, just take your tool that comes with the kit and run it along the edge of the inner lip, and that'll straighten it out and make it seat in there perfectly like it's supposed to. Okay, so that's in there now and it's seated. And you probably get frustrated the first couple times you do it. If you do it every day, it's probably no big deal. But like I said, I work on transmissions here and there, but I'm not, I do more than some mechanics do with transmissions, but I don't rebuild them normally and stuff like that. I have rebuilt some in the past, but normally I send that somewhere else. So I just put a little trans gel in there. I'm going to put, set the seal in. You want the ring of the seal upward of the tool. Then you're going to use this end and push the seal in. And then what I do, it's not really perfect straight in there when you do that. So what I do is I take the other end of the tool and I push it in the rest of the way and make sure it's straight. And then we're going to put that over the hole and use the other piece of your tool. And if everything goes right, it should just slide in there like that. And like I said, if you got a little bit of trans gel or something, use that. It makes it slide out easier. Otherwise, I was sitting there playing with it for 5 minutes before I thought about putting some gel on there. So those three are done. I'm going to go ahead and do this one off camera. It's pretty much the gist of it. And then we'll put this back together. I'm going to try to look at the torque specs of this and get that to you. And then we'll put it back in and we should have a transmission that's functioning again. So anyway, that's the gist of this part. You got three here, and then there's one over here. I am going to do this one real quick. If you go in here, you might as well do all of them, of course. Because it's on these transmissions, it's not when it's going to fail, these seals, but or if they're going to fail, but when they fail. So you don't want to have to take it back apart and do this job. Yeah, I just lost it. This one's actually in good shape. It's not even cracked, I don't think. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and then we'll get back over to the car. And before I go back, if anybody wants the part numbers, just the Sonex parts. This is the pressure switch and the toolkit. There's the part numbers: 1247407K, 12474 TL70. And then this is the number for the actual seals: 124744029. So if you're looking for the kits or the seals, that's the numbers for them for Sonex. Alright, so here it is, all torqued back together. Don't forget to plug in your 3 connectors. These are, I believe there's 11 bolts altogether. Yeah, 11 bolts. And they do have a particular way they go in as far as the sizes. It's like 4 different links or 5 different links. It's kind of annoying, so make sure you put them back in the right spot. They're all torqued to 106 inch-pounds. And here is the torque pattern. You can screenshot that or whatever you want to do. But the numbers with the circles on them are the ones. That's the torque pattern. So you're going to start with number 1 and then go number 2 and then so on. So just get it all tight, not super tight, but get it more than hand tight, and then go follow the torque pattern I just showed you and torque them to 106 inch-pounds, and then you should be good. So then we're just going to put the pan on. And one thing I forgot to mention, you will lose about Looks about like 3 or 4 quarts of transmission fluid when you pull this pan off. So make sure you got a cover under there, or not a cover, a pan under there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this pan back on, hook everything back up, and then we'll fill it full of transmission fluid, and we'll scan it for codes. And well, it won't have any codes. I got the battery disconnected because I took the transmission computer, I unplugged it, so I went ahead and unplugged the battery before I started this. So it won't have any codes probably, but we'll get in it and see how it does and drive it around and pick this up. So this is kind of well, I'll go over that in the end. All right, so I just took it out about 30 minutes. Everything's running good. Everything's fine. Everything's running good. And I'm gonna check the transmission control module. I don't expect to find anything there. Yeah, no trouble. Everything's normal. So that's pretty much the gist of it. If you have a problem or have some codes with your transmission on the 6-speed automatic GMs, a lot of times it is those seals. Now a lot of shops won't change those seals. They want you to rebuild or buy a new transmission. This car's got 112,000 on it, and there's no reason in the world to put a new transmission in it at that kind of mileage. So you know, we go ahead and fix it. There's no reason not to fix it. Like I said, a lot of shops will not want to touch it, and I understand that to a certain degree. So it is a little bit, if you're not used to working on transmissions, it might be a little bit overwhelming. I wouldn't suggest, if you don't work on cars very much, maybe to tackle it. But if you do work on cars, it's not out of the realm of possibility to do that, you know, in your driveway or whatever. Like I said, I don't rebuild transmissions for a living. I have rebuilt some, and I go in them quite a bit for different things, different reasons. But I'm not by any stretch of the imagination a transmission expert. I know quite a bit about them, and I do work on them here and there. So anyway, even if you don't want to tackle the job yourself, maybe you can find somebody to change those seals and go from there with it. So like I said, I drove it 30 minutes. It's running great. Shifting fine. Everything seems good. No leaks. So I think this one's fixed and we're good to go. So that's how to change your seals on the solenoids on a 2014 Impala. It's the 6-speed automatic tranny. Thanks for watching. As always, God bless.